I want to show you now how to use the visual squash, and I'm going to combine that with regression. So I'm going to show you how to do a technique that I showed a little bit earlier in the program, and I said we'd get to it later. Well, now we're getting to it. So the visual squash is something that you are going to be able to use to help people overcome something. Now, in this case, we're looking at a smoker. And so I've written on the board, on the right side, smoker, and on the left side, non-smoker. So what I want you to imagine would be the two hands of your client. And you're going to have them tell you which hand they feel. Let's say you have a smoker who came to you, wants to quit smoking. Okay, so you want to tell them, ask them to tell you which hand represents the part of them that wants to be a non-smoker. Okay, and they're going to pick a hand. In this case, I've assigned it, and it is the hand on the left side. So, and then the other hand would, of course, be the hand that's going to hold on to that habit of smoking. So we have here two anchors now that can be installed, because once they've determined which one they want to use as the hand that wants to stop smoking and the hand that wants to keep smoking, the hand that's going to represent that, you can go ahead and anchor that. And the way you do that is just by talking about the concepts of not smoking and smoking. So while you're touching the hand on the left, you're talking about the idea that they want to be a non-smoker. Okay? They want to eliminate that from their lives. And then you're anchoring it. As you're talking about that, you're touching their hand. You're talking more about that, you're touching their hand. You're anchoring that to that hand. Okay? And then you're talking about the part of them that wants to be a smoker. You're talking about it, you're touching that hand. Talking about it, touching that hand. You're anchoring to that hand. Doesn't matter which part of that hand you touch, by the way, just as long as you establish that that is that hand. And one of the things I like to add to this is the sometimes overlooked idea that both of these hands have their best interest in mind. Interestingly enough, when they are smoking, it's usually for a purpose that would be beneficial to them. It's just obviously misplaced beneficial purpose, but when someone smokes, they usually do it because they want to calm down. Many times smokers smoke instead of kicking something or breaking something or yelling at someone. They have a cigarette instead. And this helps them actually reduce their stress. Of course, at the same time, it's going to eventually potentially cost them their life, but at the time that it's happening, they feel that it is beneficial. So I reassure them that both of their hands have their best interest in mind. They're both looking out for them. They're both caring for them in their own way. And you can actually install further anchors by touching each of their fingers, by saying this hand loves, honors, respects you, looks out for you, cares about you, things like that. So you can not only anchor the hand to being the smoker or non-smoker hand, but you can actually touch the fingers and give those little anchors as well. And it's as simple as that. You can just say it while you're touching the fingers. Realize that your smoking part actually loves, honors, respects, and so forth you. Realize that your non-smoking part, the part that wants you to quit smoking, actually loves, honors, respects, cherishes, adores you. Whatever words you want to use that are positive. Because you want the patient to realize that they're a good person. People don't want to feel that there's this evil part of them working against them that needs to be eliminated somehow. People want to believe in their own good, and people are essentially good. I mean, we're not out to do harm. When people do things that seem to be non-beneficial, we realize, based on the presuppositions of NLP, that they actually do have their best interests in mind when they do that. And by the way, let me take this opportunity to point something out, because You may have seen my extensive videos on YouTube and other places on the internet and so forth. And many times I'll notice comments when I scratch something. Someone will say, "Well, at 22 minutes and 14 seconds," or they'll identify it exactly. They'll say, "You scratched right then, and I know that you're anchoring me." Well, trust me, in this program, at least, I am going to tell you when I'm anchoring something because I want you to learn it. And when I scratch in a video, 9 times out of 10, it's just because I have an itch. So just like Freud said, sometimes a cigar is just a cigar. Sometimes a scratch is just a scratch. So if I happen to be saying something interesting at the moment that I scratch, I don't want you to take that as me anchoring you to any attribute that I have. I will tell you when I'm doing that so that you can learn how to do it yourself. But as you learn NLP and as you go out there into the world, you're going to find that people are thinking that as well. They're going to think, when's the trick coming? When's he or she going to do the trick? Okay, what did that mean? So get used to people being a little more suspicious of your actions than usual. But that just comes with the territory, and it's kind of fun too because people are always on the lookout. So it's almost as if you command a little bit of extra power that you're not even trying to command. But I just wanted to get that out there to dispel that. There's no covert hypnosis going on in this video whatsoever. Everything's above board, and I'm teaching you as I go. But sometimes I just get an itch, and that's okay. All right. Getting back to our smoker here with our visual squash. The way that I have set this up is to teach you 2 lessons in one, because I've added with regression underneath where I wrote visual squash. With regression. So what you're going to do with this particular patient is have them, when you're talking about the smoker side, after you've already got that smoker anchor installed, you're going to have them imagine themselves as a smoker in the past, when they first started smoking. So that's the regression part. You're bringing them back there to when they first started smoking. And reassure them that they did what they thought was right. They thought it was cool or fun or relaxing or what have you back then. And reassure them that it's okay to have had those thoughts. They're not bad people. They didn't do something wrong or awful. They did what many people do. They started smoking because they saw maybe a parent do it, or they saw their friends do it, or they wanted to be cool, or whatever the reason was. So reassure them that that's okay. And you also want to, of course, reassure the right hand that that's okay as well, that everything's okay there, because the right hand is the hand that is holding the power to help them stop smoking in this case. So you want to reassure them with that hand that, of course, that hand has their best interest in mind as well.